Today, I'm sharing something that completely changed how I pack for trips. How to pack light without sacrificing style. Now, that's a department I needed help in. Because let's be honest, overpacking shoes is one of the biggest mistakes we make when traveling. Shoes are bulky, heavy, and they take up so much space in our suitcase. And somehow we convince ourselves we need a pair for every outfit. I know I'm very guilty of this. But here's the trick. If you bring the right sneakers, yes, you heard that right, sneakers, the kind that look good with dresses, shorts, jeans, airport outfits, and sightseeing, you don't need 5 pairs. You need 1 or 2 solid, versatile options. Hi, I'm Frye, and welcome back to another episode on the One Peel at a Time channel, where we talk about smart travel for families, motherhood, and culture. And today, I'm sharing my top 5 nice looking sneakers that I personally bring on trips, including comfort level, price point, and what they actually work with. So let's get into it. All right, so without further ado, let's get started with my favorite one, which is number 1 on the list of the 5, the Veja, surprise, surprise. So I am obsessed with these shoes, like obsessed. I got them, I've had these since 2021. We were in Europe, like in Germany, in France, and also in Italy, and we kept seeing them everywhere, especially in Germany. Like they were really popular, and I noticed everybody had these like V shoes, and I didn't know the brand Veja back then, and so I was like, what are these shoes? So I looked them up. Like these are really worn. I like wear them a lot. They're really comfortable. But I looked into it and I was like, oh my God, I need a pair. These are like very stylish. They look very comfortable. And I spoke to my cousin who lives in Germany, who had a pair, and she was telling me how comfortable they were. They were like the best shoes she ever had, etc., etc. So I wanted to get a pair for myself in Germany, but they couldn't find my size. Yeah, I wear a size 9. I have gigantic feet, but I couldn't find my size in the style. These are the classic styles that I wanted, but they had other ones that I found my size in, but I didn't like the style. So I was kind of disappointed. They were not really popular in the US at the time. Anyways, fast forward, we come back to the States, and then my husband knew how much I wanted them, so he surprised me, bought them for me from Bloomingdale's. At the time, only Bloomingdale's carried them. And so he got me these from Bloomingdale's, and I have been obsessed ever since with these. I even wore them to hike in Ethiopia by accident because I didn't pack my other sneakers. So we went to this region called Awasa, like city called Awasa. And so we went hiking, and I didn't have any other shoes. So I wore these. And there was like so much dust and everything. So they're super dirty. But I took the laces out, washed them, and I cleaned them to the best of my ability. I mean, they kind of like look rough. I mean, like worn in, I would say. But they're really comfortable. And like you can walk in them for hours and not feel anything. But they're also stylish. Like I wear them with shorts, skirts, dresses, everything. And they're very cute and very comfortable. It's very popular in the US now and all over the world. It's known for its quality, for lasting a long time. They are designed in Paris because the owners are French. I think, if I remember correctly, because I did some research on this years ago when I first got into Vejas, the owners are French. I think they had like a clothing brand or something like that. And then they found out that I think the factory they were working with in China was not very ethical, and they were treating the employees really poorly. So they were not happy about that. So they ended up starting that brand. And then they ended up starting this shoe brand, and they got more involved to make sure that everything was ethical and everybody was like being treated fairly. So they designed them in Paris, but the shoes are actually made in Brazil. and they're really big on sustainability, which I really like. You know, they use like organic cotton, like recycled plastic, etc. And then they also have like a kids line as well, like kids shoes. And a few years ago, I had, you know, bought my son like a pair, so we used to match. It was so cute, so cute. And then he grew out of them, but he wore them for a few years, which is great, and we kind of matched. So I mean, very high quality. So price point wise, it's like $175 for these shoes, and for the kids' shoes, it was like $110. So really, a few more dollars, you can buy an adult pair that you can use for years. But I mean, it's really comfortable for the kids as well. So if you want to like match with your kid, that's a good option. I am eyeing another one right now, the compo leather white shoes on their website. That will be my next pair once I wear these off, which probably have just like a year or two on them because I wear them religiously. They've been to so many places with me. These are like the first shoes to get in my luggage for sure. Number 2 on the list is these pairs of Greats shoes. So Greats is an American company in Brooklyn, I believe. It was founded in Brooklyn. And I've also had these since like 2021 or something like this, and I wear them quite a bit. So they are an American company based in Brooklyn, but they produce all their shoes in Europe, mostly Italy, and also some in Portugal. They exclusively use Italian leather for their shoes. So their shoes are really high quality, all leather in and out. They also have like non-leather options now, but I mean, the ones I have here are like fully leather, really comfortable. And what I really liked about this is the fact that although they're like leather, like they're not stiff when you first get them. It's not like you have to like break them in or, you know, all this other stuff that you have to worry about with leather sneakers. They are pretty broken in. I mean, like I started wearing them day one and they're very comfortable. I can walk in them a lot as well. For quite a bit. If I had to like compare it with the Vejas, I would say like the Vejas are even more comfortable, but the Vejas are also like vegan leather. So maybe that has something to do with it. But these are also pretty comfortable, and these are like fully white. I wanted like a fully white sneakers with nothing written on them, no black or anything, so I could wear it with anything. So again, shorts, dresses, skirts, everything. They were very great. I like them. These are about a little bit more than the Veja, so like 188 to 199, I guess, depending on the shoes you get. But they're compared to luxury sneakers, but with a lower price point, basically. Like, I mean, to be able to get luxury sneakers under 200 is pretty awesome, in my opinion. So, great. They're pretty great. And then number 3 are my Frye pairs. These are another favorite of mine. They are very, I don't know, stylish, very minimalistic, and they're very comfortable. So compared to the Greats, they're also leather, Italian leather. Compared to the Greats, I would say like the sole has more cushion to it, and there's more cushion here if you like have need more support around this area. So they're more. I think they offer more support compared to the Greats. So like if you were to walk 25,000 steps a day, visiting somewhere, I would suggest the Frye as opposed to the Greats, even though the Greats are still comfortable. But if you're like, oh, I want 100% more comfort, I would go with the Frye. So they're really nice. These are the Ivy low lace sneakers. They have a few, but these are the Ivy low lace sneakers. I like the style of these better, especially to pair with like skirts, dresses, and stuff like that. So they were founded in 1863. So this is like an older brand. It's been around for a long time. And if you do own a pair of like Frye boots, you would know like that they've been around for a long time and the quality they provide when it comes to leather products. They're like again a premium Italian leather. That's what they're known for. They feel like really light and soft for being like premium Italian leather sneakers. There's a huge, like I said, arch supports, which they're really known for. So if you have any arch support issues, I would go with these. They're great. And yeah, so again, with these, you don't need any break-in period, which I love. Like just like the grades, you can put them day one and you're good to go. I really appreciate that. Like I hate shoes that I have to like break in to wear and all that stuff. So that's something that I like and appreciate about the Frye. Number 4. So we're gonna like pivot from the white sneaker collection that we have going on, and we're gonna talk about like the pair of black sneakers I have. So for a long time, I only had like white sneakers, which I like because you can wear them with anything. But then I really wanted a pair of black sneakers, like fully black, nothing on it, type of black sneakers. And my husband had a pair, which I loved. You know, sometimes it's just nice to have that option if you want to wear something, you know, a black sneaker. Maybe that will match more with your outfit. So, you know, so I try to bring at least one white and one black when I go, you know, depending on the outfits that I'm packing, of course. But anyways, I got a pair of Common Projects, which I'm sure you've heard of the brand Common Projects. So my husband has a pair of these. They have both male and female, you know, man and women shoes, Common Projects. And so anyways, I got these. They are a luxury minimalist sneaker. That's what they're known for. Price point wise, they're a lot more expensive than the other ones. I think they're in the 400 to 500 range. But again, you know, premium Italian leather, made in Italy. All the shoes are made in Italy. Very minimalistic. I love how minimalist they are. I love like the subtle like logo. It's just like little numbers on the side, you know, very minimalistic. So I really appreciated that. And I really love matching with my husband sometimes. He has them in white as well. But since I have these other white sneakers, I didn't get them in white. But the black ones are really nice. And I love wearing them sometimes. And they're comfortable. My husband like wears the white ones like religiously. Like he's gone hiking with them. He walks around in them like, you know, all day. Like we're doing, I mean, when we travel, we usually walk like 20,000, 25,000 steps a day. So it's like, they're very comfortable, and really just nice to have. I haven't tested these to the max where I've walked like 25,000 steps in them yet, because I usually gravitate towards my white sneakers, but I've walked in them in a decent amount and they've been comfortable. So yeah, I like these. So if you were to get Common Project, if you want like a, I don't know, like a more luxurious feel, and you like Common Projects and you want like a more subtle, you know, logo like that and stuff like that, I would definitely check out Common Projects. You can check out the white ones, the black ones. And yeah, so I would totally recommend them. Last but not least are these Adidas sneakers. Now, these are not luxurious, or I would say like nice, well, I shouldn't say nice, but you know, like nice looking, like dressy sneakers. I think that's the word I'm looking for. These are not like dressy sneakers by any means. They're actually running shoes. But the reason I wanted to talk about them is because usually when I have running shoes, and I used to be a runner before I injured my knee, all my running shoes were kind of like bigger and bulkier. These are like the only running shoes that I've ever owned that are small and just like light, and they don't like appear to be big and stuff like that. So I really like that. I got them as a gift actually. I think my brother bought them for me for my birthday or something like that. I can't remember now. But anyways, I've had them for a few years. I like them because I've actually worn them with like jean skirts, shorts, even just like skirts, and they've like looked fine. They don't look like bulky or out of place. So I wanted to suggest these in case you're really like strapped for space in your suitcase or luggage, and you just have to pack one shoes. You can only pack one shoes, but you want to bring a pair of running shoes, but also a pair to kind of look cute in. I think these will be it. These are the Run Falcon 5 shoes, and obviously they're like the least expensive option out of all the shoes that I talked about today. They're at $65. And they're, you know, like both comfortable and cute all at the same time. So yeah, these are pretty great, you know. But if you do have space to bring a pair of running shoes and a pair of like cute shoes, I would totally bring one of the options that I mentioned here, either the Vejas. The Vejas are great. Obviously, you can't run it in any of the other shoes that I talked about because they're not running shoes. However, you can walk in them as much as you want, hike in them, even though I don't recommend it. Don't ruin your nice looking sneakers over hike, you know, to hike. Just like plan ahead and bring your hiking shoes. Don't do what I did. But yeah, I would go the Vejas for sure. Try out Frye. They're great. Greats is pretty awesome. And if you want to spend a little bit more money, Common Project. I hope this video was like inspiring in that at least, and helping you pick, you know, a pair that you think will look good for your trip. So again, it depends what part, I guess, what time of the year you're going, right? If you're going in the summertime, you know, can pack light clothes wise, which is what I like. Like you can pack dresses, skirts, shorts, and stuff like that. And those don't really take up too much space in your luggage anyways. So then you can go ahead and like add, you know, one pair of sneakers, one pair of running shoes, and then you should be good to go. You know, I started getting really conscious about what I pack. Well, for two reasons, really. Well, A, I don't want to overpack, right? And then get overwhelmed when you get there, like, what am I wearing? And like spend too much time deciding what you're going to wear. Like, you have an itinerary to follow. You have stuff to do. You know, you can't be worrying too much about or spending too much time on like what you're wearing when you're abroad or wherever you're visiting, right? So at least that's how I think about it. So if you plan your trips, if you plan your outfits based on what you'll be doing on your itinerary, accordingly, you won't get overwhelmed. Like you'll know what you'll wear every day of the trip. But the second reason was because like a few years ago, like 6 years ago, I should say, or like 5 years ago, I think it was in 2021 when we went to Germany and France and stuff like that. It was like during November, like so kind of like winter time. So I like I brought like a few sweaters and, you know, to wear with like leggings or pants and stuff like that. But on every single picture that we've taken, you know, like during our excursions or visiting places or whatever, I like wore the same coat that I had, the one long winter coat and the same UGG boots the entire trip. And granted, I was like 4 months pregnant at the time, and you know, like things were getting a little hard for me, but still, I just looking back and I'm just like, oh my God, I like wore the same clothes. It looks like I wore the same clothes the entire 2 weeks of the trip, right? And I think, and you might say like, you know, like who cares like what people think and stuff like that, but this is just for me. It's not really about what people think. It's like when I look back, I don't want to like see me like just looking the same every day. I kind of want to, I like going back and looking at our pictures and, you know, just like looking cute and stuff like that. And that matters to me personally. It's not necessary for people. So anyways, when we went to on another trip, like a few years later, I made sure I planned my every single outfit of the day when we went to London and then Paris, like, okay, this is what I'm gonna wear and stuff like that. And I brought like, it was again during the winter time, it was like in December, so I bought like 2 coats and but I like brought like little like tops and stuff like that that I was able to like wear with different skirts or different pants for the different days. So I didn't overpack like kind of like the tops and stuff like that. So I kind of like packed smart in that way. And then now when I look back at the pictures, I love them. I look cute. And it was like it wasn't that even that hard, you know, like, but I think proper planning really helps. So anyways, all this to say, with these white sneakers, especially if you're planning a spring summer trip, it's going to be even easier because spring clothes are a lot easier to pack. They're not, you don't need a lot of layers. And so like if you bring like, let's say even like one dress, you can wear it a couple of different ways, right? You can wear it with like a jacket one day, like in a different way another day. Or like if it's a skirt, you can wear it with like different tops and stuff like that. And so get like a few wears out of like the one outfit, the one skirt, the one short, the one dress, and stuff like that. And the one pair of shoes you're going to pick to bring as well, because it will go with anything. So that's why I wanted to put together this video, especially if you're not going in the winter time, you don't need boots and stuff like that. Go with the white sneakers. Go with the white sneakers. Even if it's like in a colder time you're going, you can wear long socks with the white sneakers. Oh, that's another thing that I like about these shoes, especially the Vejas. I wore them with like thick, long socks so many different times and like leggings, and they look so cute, like really cute. And I think like getting the right pair of white sneakers is really going to make a difference in your wardrobe and your packing and all that stuff. So I hope you found this video to be helpful, and you know it's somehow inspired you to pick your next pair of shoes if you're in the market for it. And if you have any questions about any of these shoes that I talked about today, and you know I've had them for quite a few years, so I can answer any questions at this point, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. And I'll see you next week with another video. Until then, have a great day.